So, guys, today we're going to be talking about what is one of the most embarrassing things in sports. Nico Harrison. Nico Harrison, I'm just in shock. I cannot believe this is something that is real. I cannot believe that this man has been allowed to do what he has done, like, to the Dallas Mavericks. It is embarrassing. What he has done is he has destroyed this organization for the sole purpose of him wanting it seems like from the sole purpose of him wanting to be the main character. You know, people were maybe giving Mark Cuban a bit too much credit, I'd say, for his liking. Maybe people were giving Luka a bit too much credit when he's like, well, it wasn't Luka didn't bring in Kyrie Irving. Luka didn't bring in PJ Washington. Luka didn't draft Derek Lively and bring in Daniel Gafford. That was all me. Why are they giving Luka the credit? Why am I not getting any of the credit? Well, you know what? He's getting the credit for ruining the damn organization. So, let's listen to this. What's your understanding of why Dirk declared that he's not involved in the inner workings of the franchise? I don't know. He hasn't been since I've been here, so that's a better question for him. Did you factor in his feelings before you fired people that you know obviously were good friends of his? Getting back to, and I know it's a joke to bring up Casey Smith. It's not a joke. I know it's a joke to bring up Casey Smith. It's not a joke to Dirk. Did you factor in Dirk's feelings when you fired Casey Smith, when you fired Jerry Holosoppo, and when you fired Casey Spangler? A lot of people actually weren't fired. Their contracts ended when you made the decision to move on from them. Like, that is the worst answer. Well, we didn't fire them. We just didn't rehire them. No, my obligations to the Mavericks, it's what's in the best interest of the Mavericks. It's what's the most important thing. Again, some of these decisions are going to be unpopular, maybe to Dirk and maybe to the fans. My obligations to the Mavs. I hate this quote so much, and I mean this. I am, as a fan of the great Leeds United, you'll see that here. Sport is for the fans. Without the fans, you are nothing. Without the fans, none of these players are just people that throw a ball into a hoop. That's it. Or they stop others from throwing a ball into a hoop. If we break down sport to its simplest level, that's all it is. And I mean that. When we break down sport to its simplest level, sport is simply put just people throwing a ball, or basketball is throwing a ball into a hoop. Without the fans, it's nothing. Without the fans, you are not a millionaire. Without the fans, Luka Doncic is just a tall Slovenian. Without the fans, Nikola Jokic is probably riding horses in Serbia. This is for the fans. Like, sport is for the fans. I hate that. I'm going to do things that it's going to be unpopular to the fans. They pay your wages. They pay everyone's. They are the reason why your team's worth that much money. They're the reason your owners own this franchise. Sport is for the fans. Those are people who are as respected as anyone in their field. Why isn't the best interest of Dallas Mavericks to not have employed here? What people were the most respected in Casey Smith? These are people who are widely respected in their field, in their respective fields. They're people who were a huge part of the culture of this franchise long before you were here. Why is it in the Dallas Mavericks' best interest to not have them continue to be employees? Again, I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with guys who we decided to move on from, but we're excited about the team we have. We feel that the guys that replace them have done an amazing job. And again, you're coming at me from a negative standpoint and looking at it from a positive standpoint. The guys we brought in are better. Your entire team's injured. Your entire team is injured. This is the health staff. Your entire team's injured. And apparently through this whole thing, again, did not allow any media record anything. Thankfully, things are coming out. Banned cameras and recording devices, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And again, obviously, there's no regrets on the trade. Part of my job is to do the best interest in Mavericks, not only today, but also in the future. So you drafted someone 6 years older. And some of the decisions I'm going to make are going to be unpopular. That's my job, and I have to stand by it. But our philosophy, like I said, going forward is defensive wins championships, and we're built on defense. This trade cements that for us. What? I'm sorry. I understand you need defense to win championships, but no team has ever gotten better trading their engine away. No team has ever improved by trading their engine away. I'm sorry, The reason why the Lakers, by the way, are contenders this year is because they traded Anthony Davis away for Luka Doncic. Like, the Lakers would not have been contenders without Luka. They're contenders. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll be pretenders in the playoffs. But people think they're contenders because of Luka Doncic. They were not contenders when Anthony Davis was there. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? But yeah, it's a mad thing. Just constantly saying defense wins championships. You know the player that you traded because defense wins championships. He put 45 points on your head. Where was the defense there? And you can say, oh, we were missing X, Y, and Z. You still had Anthony Davis. You still had Mr. Defense wins championships. Like, you've got Tim McMahon coming out and saying things, the thing is dark in Dallas and it's only going to get worse. You've got anonymous GMs, and this is the funniest part. You have got anonymous GMs coming out and saying they hope the Mavs keep Nico Harrison in charge, saying it's always good to have a desperate GM out there. Other teams are like, what is going on? Like, people are saying he doesn't move like he's desperate. He's not desperate. He's absolutely not desperate because he is convinced that he is correct. He's convinced of this. I'm sorry, like, this is the same man again that we saw Luka Doncic drinking. Luka Doncic just won Western Conference Finals MVP. Was drinking a beer, not even a big beer, a small beer. A 330 milliliter beer. Like, that is about 150 calories, and at his height, nowhere near enough to get him buzzed. He was just having a casual beer with his dad, and he ran up and yanked it out of his hand. This man just hated Luka. He hated Luka. He did not like Dirk. He didn't like the way the Mavericks was being ran. And he also, from what I've read, and again, I'm not entirely sure of the source for this, but I did see it. I did see it somewhere. But again, do not quote me on this because I don't have my source. But I did read somewhere, it could be Twitter, so again, not 100% fact, that supposedly Nico Harrison is the reason why Mark Cuban has no say in the team anymore. Like, it is mad. It's absolutely mad. Like, even seeing Mark Cuban came out basically saying that his daughter was at a party and she had to hide. If he had any influence, it wouldn't happen. Like, that is from obviously that's from March, but it's crazy. It is absolutely just crazy, and it's mad. And the man just kept saying, "Defense wins championships." Like, this is the craziest quote. Our philosophy is defense wins championships, and we're built on defense, and this trade cements that. Did Harrison not believe the core of last season's finals team with Doncic centerpiece could contend for title? I'll say this again, defense wins championships. Like, I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Like, the Celtics won the championship, historically great offensive team. The Denver Nuggets, historically great offensive team around Nikola Jokic. The Warriors, historically great offensive system. Maybe not on the stats, but there it's a historically great offensive system with the Warriors. 2021. The Milwaukee Bucks, again, historically great offensive system by spacing around Giannis Antetokounmpo. 2020, great defensive team, the Lakers. In fairness, maybe, but that was a freaking bubble year. 2019, the Raptors played both ends of the floor at an extremely good rate. Extremely good way. Freddie VanVleet was getting finals MVP votes that year. 2018, the Warriors were just the Warriors. The Cavs were just the Cavs. 2015, Warriors elite offensive system. Again, good defensively, elite offensively. And I don't care about the numbers. We watch those teams play. Obviously, you have to be good in defense to win a title. You're not going to win a defensive title being the Light the Beam Sacramento Kings or anything, or the Indiana Pacers currently. But you are going to win a title if you can win a title with an offensive juggernaut surrounding them with defenders, which you actually did a good job of. Your defense was good. Your defense was fine. Your defense is fine. Like, and again, it's just embarrassing. It is embarrassing to the Mavs. And that type of phrase, by the way, your GM, who has been given full control of your team, like coming out there and saying that I don't care if a decision's unpopular with the fans. Essentially saying I couldn't care less about the fans. If that was, like, I had such a big problem because, again, like, look, I'm a Leeds United fan. We had an owner that essentially was very similar-ish to that at times. We've had owners similar to that, and a lot of soccer teams have owners to that. And like, if Leeds had an owner, if it turns out that, you know, the our owners and our manager are very much like that, where they don't care about that. Like, there's a reason why I fell back in love with football with Marcelo Bielsa, because everything for him was about the fans. Everything was about the entertainment factor. So it's one of those things, but it's one of those things that obviously matters. And if my team that I supported suddenly went out with a screw the fans attitude, I'd stop caring as much. Which is why, again, I have so much respect for the Miami Heat not tanking. Because you might be saying, oh, but like, I like them because they're trying to win constantly. That's one of the reasons I've stayed a Miami Heat fan and not just said, I'm a neutral. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty much it. An embarrassment from Nico Harrison. See you guys.